Hey TPT sellers, my name is Mike Fuchigami and I'm the host of the SEOTpreneur YouTube community. I've spent $1,861 on Facebook ads. Here's what I've learned so far. This episode is for TPT hawks who are building systems. If you're a tadpole, you're creating content, you're trying to figure out your TPT niche, and then as a TPT hamster, you're running on that content creation wheel and you're churning out content and your products aren't selling because it's an oversaturated market. And you start to wonder, how can I get more people to look at my products? And inevitably, we start to think about Facebook ads or Pinterest ads or email marketing lists. I've spent $861 this summer on Facebook ads and I still haven't cracked the code, but I am getting closer. So I'm going to walk you through some of the things I've learned in case you one day want to tinker with Facebook ads. The first thing I've learned so far is there's a lot of tinkering and experimentation. Things don't work right away, but we try things, we pay attention to what seems to be working, we go in that direction more. Maybe we double down on our ad spend. If that doesn't work, we pull back. We try little experiments and we constantly monitor what's working and what's not working. Facebook ads are not something where you just set it and forget it. It takes active work. I keep track in a spreadsheet. If you prefer paper, then keep track on paper. I tinkered with 2 ad campaigns. One is my back to school 6 C's bundle. And in that experiment, I've spent around $1,200. I've made around $1,300. The actual profit for that campaign is around $137. But I also tinkered with running ads directly to my 10X reading program. And in that one, I spent $630 and I've only made $466. So overall, in both experiments, my loss is around $27, but proportionately, my return on ad spend is 1.0 overall. So that basically means for every dollar I spend on advertising, I make $1 back in earnings attributed to those resources. My overall earnings on my TPT store during this experiment period is $2,600 in US, which in Canadian is $3,500. After I take away my ad spend, it means my profit for my store during this ad period is $1,700. But when I compare it with what I made last year during this time, I'm actually down $1,600, which sounds horrible. I'm down 48.7% compared to last year. But if I go up and compare it to how I was doing earlier, when I started this experiment, I was down 90% compared to last year. There was a time when I got my back to school ads working and I was down only 47% year over year compared to last year. And then I was too ambitious and I cranked up the ad spend a little bit too much. And I jumped into the 50s, 58% compared to last year. But it's slowly 53%, 50%, 49.8, 48.7. It's slowly heading in the right direction. And overall, my store has been down about 30% this year. So I'm not doing that bad. I mean, I'm 28.7% worse than I was before I ran Facebook ads, but I am learning a lot. So each of these lines represents a different campaign, a different experiment that I ran. Right now, I only have 2 campaigns running on my 6 C's bundle, and that's where I'm sending traffic directly to my product. In one campaign, Facebook is optimizing for add to cart traffic. So people who add the product to the cart, TPT sends a signal to the Facebook pixel, and then the Facebook ad campaign says, oh, okay, this kind of person seems to add it to cart. Let's try to find more of those. And then the second campaign is showing it to people who are adding it to wish list. On my 10X bundle side, I ran a bunch of ad campaigns going towards an email list based on things I learned at TPT Forward. I haven't been able to crack the code with the email funnel. I think an email funnel is definitely going to be warmer traffic, but because I was seeing success in sending traffic directly to the bundle, that's where I started to focus and that's where I'm spending my energy trying to crack the code. I can see I sent some traffic directly to the 10X bundle. That didn't convert at all, but that was also sending it based on traffic as the Facebook optimization principle. And I haven't seen success with that on my back to school side. How do I know that? I know that from UTM codes. If I go to Teachers Pay Teachers, and I click on the traffic tab and I click on earnings, I can see, for example, that this Facebook ad has a conversion rate of around 4.26%. It's a little bit more complicated than that because I'm running multiple ads within a campaign, so I have to account for that. But let's pretend that just right now, the conversion rate is 4.26% for my Facebook ad campaign. And if I copy this campaign code for me, if I go to my Facebook ads manager and I search for campaign name, I can see it was traffic to my add to cart. How does that compare with the conversion rate for the product overall? I'm going to go to my dashboard. I'm going to change my products and deselect everything. It's this resource, back to school SEL activities. Here's the resource I'm sending direct traffic to. It's a $50 resource. If I want to see the conversion rate, let's switch it here to conversion. It says the overall conversion rate for this product is 1.3%. Now the ad period for me is July 18th to today. So let's change the period. So the conversion rate this year is 1.5%. Last year, it was 3.2%. And I know some of you are going to say, wow, Mike, the conversion rate's so low. Don't promote this product. But the traffic that I send from Facebook or TPT ads is low quality traffic. It's going to drop the conversion rate of my resources. How do I know this? Okay, I have a reading bundle where the conversion rate this year, this month, is 15%. Last year, it was 1.7% during this time period. What's the difference? The difference is that this month, I'm not running TPT ads to this product. So basically, by running TPT ads, my conversion rate dropped to 1/10 of what it would be with organic search traffic. So although this reading bundle has a 15% conversion rate, I have to remind myself that my conversion rate for the ads will be different than what it is with organic traffic. What I've learned with you right now is that the conversion rate for my ad traffic is 4.26% for my 6Cs bundle, and that's ad traffic directed towards people who will add it to the cart. So just recognize that when you're running Facebook ads or Pinterest ads or email marketing or whatever you're doing, it's going to take a little bit of time tinkering and experimenting before you crack the code. $1,800 so far. That doesn't mean that you're going to spend $1,800 before you crack the code. You might figure it out before me. You might figure it out after me. It sort of depends on the experiments and the results. You know your products best. The second takeaway I've learned is to ignore shiny objects. Recently, a TPT seller on the pro side shared with me a link to this Alex Hormozi video about the 5 stages of entrepreneurship. I'm going to do a proper review of this video later on. Essentially, he says there are 5 steps whenever we're exploring a new marketing channel or an entrepreneurial business idea. The first step is uninformed optimism. Recently on the YouTube channel, I had someone say, well, if you're spending $1,700 for that money, you could buy educational websites and send that traffic to your products. And at least you'll have something afterwards. Because when you spend money on ads, you don't have anything afterwards. You're not buying content. You're not buying property. I think for me, that's uninformed optimism. I might think, yeah, you know what? Facebook ads are too hard. I should try Pinterest ads, or I should try email marketing, or I should buy educational websites and send that traffic. I don't know what I don't know. I just think it's easier, so I'm optimistic about it. And then Hormozi says the next step of that is informed pessimism, where you realize, oh no, this is a lot of work. I thought Facebook ads would just be about buying ads, and as long as your ad spend was less than your revenue from the ads, then you have a money-making machine. But it's actually a lot of experimentation and tinkering, and will I be able to crack the code? Maybe I should switch to sending ads to an email channel. Maybe I should switch to doing dollar hashtag sales. Maybe I should switch to a different teacher platform. Maybe I should switch to tutoring. So we get that informed pessimism where once we realize how hard TPT is in terms of getting eyeballs, we start to wonder if there's an easier way. And then Alex Hormozi says that's where you enter the valley of despair, where I'm doing so much work on my Facebook ads. I've spent $1,800 and it's not working. Or I've spent so much time creating products on my TPT store and it's not working. We enter this valley of despair and then we hear about something else that's easier. Oh, I just repurposed my content on Instagram, and we have uninformed optimism about that. Or, oh, I run Pinterest ads and it's working for me. So uninformed optimism about that. Or, oh, I should sell on Etsy. Etsy is easier. So we think that'll work and we enter that with uninformed optimism, and then we get disappointed and become informed pessimistic as we realize how much work it is And then we enter the valley of despair and we continue this cycle. Alex Hormozi, with his wealth of experience, is pointing out that actually, after the valley of despair is where you enter this phase of informed optimism, where you start to realize, okay, this is how Facebook ads work. This seems to be working. If I continue to do this, maybe I can churn out successful results until eventually I hit stage 5, which is achievement. I'm somewhere between step 3 and step 4 about with my Facebook ads. I haven't really hit informed optimism, but I'm slightly more optimistic about what I'm doing. What stage are you at in your TPT business or your marketing or your email list? Are you in uninformed optimism where you think, yeah, everyone keeps saying that email lists are where the money's at. I'm going to start an email list. Or then maybe you hit informed pessimism where you realize, actually, my conversion rate with my email list isn't that great. And then you hit the valley of despair where, you know what, this email list isn't working. I'm going to switch to something else. I'm going to switch to Facebook ads. Or maybe you figured out that actually email lists can't keep my expectations down because I think that they're going to bring in lots of money based on all the hype I hear about email lists. But really, the conversion rates I'm getting are quite good, and here's why. Or maybe you've hit that achievement step where, yep, I have a huge mailing list. I know how to send out multiple emails that convert. And now I just need to grow that email list and continue what I'm doing. Leave a comment below with what step of the game you're at. The final thing that I want to talk about today, quickly calculate the break-even point for my Facebook cost per click ads. You put in the price of your resource, you put in the conversion rate you expect, and this website page will tell you, okay, here's the cost per click. If your Facebook ads cost more than this cost per click, you're going to lose money. If your Facebook ads cost less than this cost per click, you're going to make money. And then you optimize what you have on your TPT product to try to improve your conversion rate, or you work on the other side of the equation and you try to optimize your ad to bring down your cost per click. This is free. But also because I've chatted with a few TPT sellers and just our brains are too tired to figure out what the break-even point is. So here's the easy way to figure it out. You go to SEOTpreneur.com, you hover over TPT seller tools, and there is a Facebook ads TPT tool, which looks like this. Here are some tools to help TPT sellers figure out what they need to run profitable Facebook ads. This post is free to read, but only available to subscribers. Join today to get access to all the posts. I'm going to type in my email address. I'm going to hit subscribe. I'm going to type in my email address. I'm going to hit subscribe. Weird. That was weird. All right, here we go. So here's the Facebook ads TPT tools. I'm going to put in the price of my TPT product. And my TPT product is $49. So I'm going to type in here $49.99. And already the calculator has figured out that my earnings is $39.99 per sale. If I go to TPT, I can see my conversion rate for this resource is 1.3%. I might put here for my conversion rate 1.3%. And then it calculates my break-even cost per click for Facebook ads is 52 cents. And then there's an explanation. It's a little bit of a story. Imagine you're running a Facebook ad campaign to promote your TPT product priced at $49.99. So that's the number I put in earlier. You decide to pay for 100 people to visit your product page through these ads. So we're going to buy 100 ads. The cost per click for your Facebook ad is 52 cents. This means that to get 100 visitors, you'll spend $51.99 on ads. Now, these are based on averages. It might be more, it might be less. Now, with a conversion rate of 1.3%, that's the conversion rate I put in earlier. It means of those 100 people who visit your product page, you can expect approximately 1.3 of them to make a purchase. I know you're thinking you can't have 0.3 of a person. Which third is that? But this is just simple math. If you had 1,000 people visit, then you would have 13 people make a purchase. The averages work out over time. So it says here, each sale earns you $39.99, which we know because your product is $49.99, but this assumes that you make 80% of the product price. If it's not worth it for your store to have a premium TPT membership, it's not worth it for you to run Facebook ads yet. You're too early in the game. It says here, each sale earns you $39.99. So if 1.3 people buy your product, you'll make a total of $51.99. And that's $51.99 how much you spent on ads. So your break-even point at this conversion rate of 1.3% is 52 cents per click. And if I scroll down, it has a couple of scenarios. If your Facebook cost per click is 52 cents per click, you would spend $51.99 on Facebook ads for 100 visitors. for 100 visitors, so your earnings would be the exact same amount and you would lose $0. Scenario 2, if your Facebook click wasn't 52 cents per click, but it was 3/4 of that, so it was 39 cents per click, then you would only spend $38.99 on Facebook ads for those 100 people. But those 100 people, your TPT earnings would still be $51. You're just spending less per click. And so then you would make a profit of $13. And then the website gives you scenario 3. Well, what if your cost per click was half of the price, 26 cents? What if your cost per click was only 13 cents per click? So for me, I need to figure out if my current campaign is working, and I have some numbers that my conversion rate is actually 4.26%. So I'm going to change my conversion rate to 4.26%. And I also know what my cost per click is on Facebook, optimized for people who add the product to the cart. And so in my Facebook ad, and that's because I spent $184, 13 of them have added to my cart, of which 13 people have added to cart. And if I hover over that number, Facebook actually tells me, well, you know what? 13 people have added it to the cart, but 174 people have looked at the resource. I've set up my dashboard to show that I have 13 ads to cart, I have 2 ads to wish list, I have 174 content views, and 199 outbound clicks. And that's because an outbound click is the cost per click where someone clicked on the ad. And then on the other side, it's detecting whether or not that person registered as a content view. So my actual cost per click, per outbound click, is 93 cents. So that's what I'm going to put in here for my Facebook cost per click. I'm going to put 93 cents. Even cost per click for this Facebook ad campaign is $1.70. So as long as I spend profitable, and if I scroll down in this calculator, I now have scenario 5. So in theory, if your Facebook cost per click was 93 cents per click, which mine is, then for 100 visitors, I would spend $93. My earnings, based on the conversion rate I gave earlier, would be around $170. And so this campaign should make $77 per 100 visitors. So in theory, by the time I've spent $93 on my Facebook ads, I will have made profit $77. Now, this ad campaign has a budget of $11, and I'm slowly ramping it up 10% per day as I see that it's successful. I ramped it up yesterday from $10 to $11. I'm not going to ramp it up today yet because there seems to be a glitch with the UTM data from TPT. I've already opened a support ticket, but a few days ago, my earnings attributed to the UTM was a lot higher than it is right now. And I think that's because they've updated this website and maybe the formulas have changed. So I need to make sure my numbers are reliable before I go forwards. But since sending traffic optimized for add to cart and add to wish list seems to convert, I might try again. So remember, this is where it comes back to tinkering and experimenting. I might try again with another campaign sending traffic directly to my 10x bundle, which back then had a cost per click of around 55 cents. Source, it's around 2.3%. And the product is also a $49, $50 resource. So if I put 2.3% here, it means my break-even point for Facebook ads would be 92 cents per click. Now I know from earlier experiments that when I set up my 60s bundle just for Facebook to find traffic, it was around 43 cents per click. And the add to cart price was around 93 cents per click. So this is where I wonder, okay, well, if the bundle traffic was around 55 cents per click, then maybe the add to cart cost per click will be around $1.10. And then that might be enough for me to get some data. And it might be that the conversion rate of people for add to cart is not 2.3%, but maybe it's better. So we'll see. A bunch of experiments. If you've learned something new, please hit like and let me know in the comments whether you're running ads to your products and what kind of success you've had, or are you still in the valley of despair like me? We'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.